everyone, welcome to a new video. I have a bit of photography news for you today regarding two brand new lenses that have just been released by Canon. I'm a bit unsure about these lenses. The main reason for that is the sheer price of them. However, let's just jump into the video and get on with the news. So Canon has released an RF800mm f5.6 L Is Usm lens. 800mm super telephoto lens, compact lens with a max diameter of 163mm by, in terms of length, 432mm. Weight will be 3.14 kilograms in weight. A large f5.6 aperture. The stabilization is 4.5 stops. Dust and drip proof design. And a minimum focusing distance of 2.6 meters. So the big elephant in the room is going to be the price, which is, and wait for it, this is not a typo, I'm telling you the absolute honest truth, £19,099.99, just short of £20,000. I'm gobsmacked that the Canon would try and charge someone for that sort of money. Don't get me wrong, I think it's going to be fantastic in terms of image quality. It's going to be nice and sharp, it's going to produce great results, but the price is going to be the sticking point. For 20 grand there's a lot of travelling you could do with a normal lens. So let's have a look at the other lens they've just released. The RF1200mm F8L Is Usm lens. 1200mm compact lens with max diameter of 168mm. Length is 537mm, so it's a little bit longer, 100mm longer. And the weight is 3.34 kilograms in weight. 4 stops of image stabilization. Dust and drip proof design. Minimum focusing distance is 4.3 meters. The selling price of this is £22,449.99. That is a lot of money, guys. An absolute ton of money you're going to have to shell out for this lens. And you're going to have to ask yourself, is the aperture worth it? Let's jump over to the 800mm lens. I have the RF 800 diffractive optic lens here. Cost me £1,000. Is that 800 5.6 lens, which is 2 stops better than this? It's only 2 stops, it's not a great big deal in the great scheme of photography. Is that extra 2 stops worth an extra, let's say, 19 grand? I'm going to have to say probably not. Is it going to get you 20 times the quality of this lens? I really seriously doubt it. If I was to guess, maybe twice, maybe a push, maybe 3 times the quality, but that's it. And are you going to notice it if you don't pixel peep into your images? No, probably not. The RF1200mm lens is quite an interesting lens because back in the day, many years ago, Canon was experimenting with lenses, and they built an EF 1200mm 5.6 lens. That sold, believe it, on B&H store at one point, because they only made 10 of them for about £250,000, which was a lot of money, but obviously Canon only made 10 of them. And they only did that as to see if they could do it, you know. And I believe there's a video on YouTube by B&H where they just showed it off on a tripod, and check it out if you'd like to see it. I'll see if I can find it and I'll put it in the description box so you could have a look at that. But yeah, these are some amazing prices, if I'm honest with you, because you could certainly pick up a 500mm lens and use extenders, you know, let's say the 500 f4 Mark II, pick that up second hand for about 5 grand. But some of the prices they're quoting is amazing. Do I think it's worth it? I would really struggle to justify paying that. If you're someone that makes a good living out of your wildlife photography, I can possibly understand why you might want to buy it. I mean, what sort of circumstances would you be using those lenses? I think, honestly, you're going to be using them in Africa to take pictures of wildlife. I don't think these lenses are going to be suitable for sports photography. While 5.6 is a reasonably bright aperture, 800mm, it's not super bright. It's not a 2.8 lens. For example, I've got this 2.8 lens I've just acquired, which is my EF Mark II 2.8 USM lens, and this cost me £3 second hand used, and I think it's worth it. I can always stick an extender on that lens and make it 600mm at 5.6, which is more or less this. Now don't forget, Canon already has a 600mm f4 lens that retails for around £13,000. But I think the thing that Canon's missing in the RF lineup is certainly a 500 f4 lens. I think it's begging for that lens to come out, because many people would consider purchasing that. But again, these prices are huge, and you have to think really hard about buying it, you know. And Canon recently has increased globally on lenses and cameras their prices by £100. And in the times that we live in, where bills are going up, things are costing more money, I think it's a bit short-sighted on Canon to do that. So, you know, anything you were thinking of buying, let's say you thought, I'll leave it a few months, your lens or camera you were about to buy is pretty much gone up by £100. So I don't think many people are going to be too happy about that. But yeah, don't get me wrong, these lenses look nice. They probably are going to be fantastic for the professional. I think it's certainly out of the reach of most people. Unless you're quite wealthy and rich, I don't think you're going to be able to afford these lenses at all. It certainly isn't within my capability of purchasing one of these lenses. I don't know about you guys. You know, please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you enjoy the content I do, because a lot of you guys do come to my channel because I do a lot of lens testing, but I think it'd be a very, very long time before I'm able to test some of these babies, because they're certainly very, very expensive for the everyday person. I think you're going to have to be quite wealthy to want to be in a position to be able to purchase it. Even to test these lenses out or rent them is going to cost you a couple of grand, I would have thought, just for testing them. And I think many lucky YouTubers that have big YouTube channels may have the opportunity of testing these because they're quite popular. But those of us who are not big names in the YouTube industry will probably not have the opportunity of testing these lenses out. But I just wanted to bring the news to you guys to tell you about these two new lens releases. No doubt they're going to be fantastic. So let's talk about the minimum focus on the 800 f5.6 L. It's 2.6 meters, and that's significantly better than the RF800 that I have here. But you've got to remember, this is an f11 lens, you know, and it might not seem a great deal. Two stops can be a big deal in certain circumstances, but is it going to get you 20 times the image quality that 800 5.6 L lens than this f11 lens is? And I suspect probably not. I would have thought you might get a 20%, 30% increase in image quality. I think that's it. And you're only going to see that if you pixel peep your images. If you don't, if you're not that bothered about pixel peeping, I don't think you're going to gain anything by spending all this money. Take my advice, take that money and go on many trips of a lifetime and photograph wildlife, photograph sports, meet new people, go to the Far East and get experiences and images, build a library up. That's going to be more useful to you as a photographer than buying these two lenses for this sort of money. But that's my two cents on why I think you probably won't want to buy these. For those of you who have got the money, for those of you who are interested in these lenses, no doubt they will be fantastic for you and do a great job. And I just hope this video was informative and helpful and insightful into these brand new lenses. You know, please go on to Canon's UK store, check them out. You know, I'll put some video up so you can have a look and see where they're on their website. You know, if you break down the cost of these lenses, you can buy them on a monthly basis if you've got a very big credit with PayPal. So if you wanted to buy the Canon Rf1200mm F800mm Is Usm lens, you're talking about spending £1,030.55 per month for 2 years. That's a lot of money, obviously, for a long period of time. For the Canon Rf800mm F5.6 L Is Usm lens, obviously that's talking for over a 2 year period, £876.77 per month. And if you couldn't quite afford those and you thought, well, I'll get the 600 RF lens instead, and that's going to set you back obviously £13,719.99 per month. That's going to cost you £629.81 per month. A lot of money. I think what's Canon doing, I'm not so sure, but I think the lens industry in the Canon ecosystem is crying out for a 500 f4 lens. Yeah, it's alright bringing out a 600, but I think a 500 is certainly warranted, because many people prefer using 500 lenses with their extenders. You know, sometimes too long can be too long, you know. Anyway, I just want to give you the news, tell you about these 2 new lenses. Yes, it's exciting, yes, it's interesting, but is it affordable? Certainly not. Anyway, hope you have a nice day. Hope this video helped you out understand about these 2 new lenses. And, you know, just subscribe to the channel, like the video please, and keep tuned for further updates and news coming from Canon. And I'll see you later in the next video. Bye bye, have a nice day.